Your client didn't complain. They didn't ask for a refund. They just ended up never booking again. And you never saw it coming. They didn't leave because your coaching stopped working. They left because they couldn't see it working. Nearly half of clients who leave do it because progress went invisible. And I'm going to build the fix today. A progress report that writes itself before every session so your client can see how far they've come and you walk in knowing exactly where they are. It'll consist of 4 steps. We'll pull in their past sessions. We'll turn them into a progress story. We'll build the brief for your next call, and then a recap your client will actually see. Let me show you how it works. Before we build, here's what you're going to need. You'll need Claude Code open on your computer. You need Fathom or any other AI recorder for recording your sessions, and any notes that you already keep on your client. We're going to do 4 things with that. First, we're going to import one client's history and turn it into a progress story. Then we're going to build that brief for your next call. Then we're going to write the recap that you'll send to them, and then we'll update their file for the next session. By the end, you'll have a system that runs before every session for every client you've got. Hello everyone, I'm Jonathan Probert. I built AI systems for coaches and consultants so the admin runs itself and they can focus on the client in front of them. I build regular systems like this every week, and this is the one that keeps clients. And here's where we're headed. You can see on screen, this would be one client, her name is Rachel, and you've had a few sessions together. Firstly, you'll get a brief. You can see it here. It tells you where she is right now, what we decided last session, what she committed to, and what to focus on this call. You can read this in about 2 minutes before she joins the call and know everything you need to know and what to focus on in this call. Then, the part that matters most, a recap I sent to Rachel herself. From 60-hour weeks to her first weekend off in months, she can actually see the progress, and this is the reason that she's going to renew with you. First, we're going to get one client's history in. As you can see, we just have some of the dummy data on screen now, just so you can view it. But the first thing we're going to ask Claude is this. Set up a file for one client. Pull in their past sessions. I've got them exported from Fathom in the demo folder, and the tracking notes I keep on them, store it all in one place. It's going to pull in these past 3 sessions in the notes I keep on them. They were scattered everywhere before, but now it's going to turn them into one clean file. This is how you're going to start from scratch. With a client you're already midway through, you just import it once so you don't have to rebuild it again. So we can see Claude Code came back to us as it pulled the 3 sessions from Fathom, the tracking notes. Now it's stored in one place. It has where she started, the 3 goals she came for, the clean session by session history, what came up, what you decided, where she committed to, and her open commitments heading into the next call. But a pile of session notes isn't progress, it's just notes. So that's where we're going to lead into the second step, actually building the progress story. So in the Claude Code again, I'm going to tell it, using everything stored for this client, build me their progress story, what they came in for, what they've committed to, and what they've achieved. And also what's changed since we started. I'm gonna let that run. And now it's a story. She came in and she worked 60-hour weeks, doing everything herself. She hadn't had a week off in months. And in her words, I built this to have freedom. And now I have the opposite. She wanted 3 things: work under 45 hours, build a team that delivers without her, and finally charge what the work is worth. What she committed to: session 1, hired a VA. We see she actually did it. She wrote her SOPs, all 3 from session 2, and she took her first weekend off. You can see that down here. Now she's ready to raise prices on her new proposals and sending the new rate to 2 warm leads, which is where she left off. This is the arc thing that most of your clients will never see. When you miss a client's first win in the first month, your churn will jump to 40%. But this will make sure the wins never go invisible. A quick one before we move on. If you want this built for your business, I do a free AI discovery call where we'll map where your time's going and what to automate first. Link is in the description. Now for the brief for the next call. We want to be informed of where each client is and be most prepared for the next call so we can keep moving their client towards their wins. So in Claude Code, I'm going to ask it to do the following. Now build a brief for our next session, where she is right now, what we decided last time, and what she committed to. And then tell me what I should focus on this call. Now we have a brief ready for the next session. We're told where she is right now and what we decided in our last calls. She decided she needed proof that the business runs without her in the seat and get over the fear of raising prices. There's evidence for raising those prices. So she committed to raising the prices 20% on all the proposals and send it to the new warm leads. And then it tells me what to focus on this call. So we're going to check on her previous commitment. If she did it, then we're going to celebrate it and then hard push. If the 20% landed, what does it look like on the next proposal? Don't let her treat it as a one-off increase in pricing. But if she didn't, then we're not going to relegate the logic. She already agrees with it. We're going to name that fear directly and keep challenging her. And then we're going to tie it back to our own goal. Charge what the work is worth. This was from her day one. She hit the other 2 things that she needed to, and this is the last one standing. This can come in 2 minutes before the call. You do a quick read and you're going to walk in sharp. When you remember every detail, your clients are much more impressed by you and they're more likely to keep working with you. Now the part that keeps her. Again, when the client doesn't have proof that they're improving, that's when churn starts to happen. So the next thing we're going to build is a short recap to send to the client to keep her motivated. So again, in Claude Code, we're going to move on to the next part of the build. And simply that is write a short progress recap I can send to the client so they've seen how far they've come, warm and specific in my voice, and update their stored file with this session ready for next time. So we let Claude go with that, and it's already formatting it in an email format. We can read over it here. So it's done 2 things. It's put it in her file, and it's written the recap here. We can read the recap now. Before our next call, I wanted you to see this written down because it's easy to forget when you're in it. So just reminding them that they're winning. We started in January. We're working 60+ hour weeks, doing everything yourself. And you told me I built this to have freedom, but you have the opposite. And then tells them directly right after that where they've won. They've hired their own VA. Inbox and calendar haven't been a job in months. You wrote down how things actually run, how your onboarding, project kickoff, client updates all run, and your VA runs onboarding start to finish now without you. You took your full first weekend off in months and nothing broke. That's a big one that matters. That's why it's in bold, and the business held without them. And your pipeline is full enough that you're turning work away. You came to me wanting 3 things under 45 hours, team that runs without you, charge what the work is worth. You've done the first 2 and encouraging them to keep working because there's 1 left. And again, words of encouragement to keep them motivated. So this will go to Rachel. It's warm, it's specific, and in my voice, and she reads it and sees the climb. Coaches who track and show progress renew clients above 80%. And we've just shown how it's updated in her file and the progress is actually sent to her, and we have everything ready for her next coaching call. It doesn't only write a brief, it keeps record for you. But what about next session? How do I keep continuing each session so it keeps working? Well, we can go back to Claude Code, and next time I'm just gonna say, pull up Rachel's file and our latest call and do it again. Now this here is more of what will happen, but we can see it happening each time. AI reads the file, pulls in the latest call, updates and regenerates everything, and updates her file. That's it. You just have 1 line to get this done, and it grows with the client. Every session, the brief and the recap write themselves again. You build it once, and it runs, and you run it before every call for every client you've got. So remember, clients don't leave because the coaching stopped working. They leave when they can't see it working. So this makes the progress impossible to miss for them and for you. But that's it. That's the system. You import a client once. Before every session, you ask for a brief that makes you sharp and a recap that keeps them. If you're a coach who wants this built for your business, I do a free AI discovery call where I look at where your time's going and what to automate first. Link is in the description. And if this helped, subscribe. I do a new video every Tuesday and Friday about how to implement AI into your business. And coaches, please tell me, how do you prep for a client session right now? Drop it in the comments. Thanks for watching.